Hello. It's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a wreath for Pride Month. We did this last year. I think last year was the first time. So we're going to do another one today, and I have so many cool things for this wreath. I've got everything together, and a lot of this stuff I found at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. If you're interested in knowing where to find some of these items, a lot of them came from Joann Fabrics and Crafts. They had a really great selection of mesh and ribbon. They have other stuff too, like accessories like earrings and socks and suspenders and all kinds of cool things for Pride Month. I was really impressed with the selection. It was really great. So that's where a lot of it came from. So let me show you what I have here. I'm going to be using primarily mesh from Joann Fabrics and Crafts. And we're going to be using a lot of this right here. Look at this. It's gorgeous. It has kind of a metallic sheen to it. Now this is from True Colors Decorative Mesh. These rolls are $6.99 each. They are 5.5 inches wide and it's 30 feet. And that may sound like a lot, but for a 14-inch wreath frame, which is what we're going to be using, you will probably need at least 4 of these. I bought 5 just to make sure I had enough. But we're also going to be incorporating some other colors. This is going to be the primary mesh in here though. It's this right here. And look at all the pretty colors. Oh my gosh. And they're all metallic. They all have that nice metallic finish. This is really good quality mesh. It's excellent. It's very firm. It's not like some of the less expensive mesh, which is kind of thin and it's kind of hard to work with. This stuff is great. It's really easy to work with and it's beautiful. So these are $6.99 each. When I bought them, they weren't on sale, but I did buy it a couple of weeks ago. It may be on sale now. I wanted to go ahead and get it when they first put it out, because sometimes that stuff gets gone and then you can't find it later. They also have mesh similar to this at Michael's, but it is much more expensive and it seems like they almost never put it on sale anymore. A roll like this at Michael's is about $15. And honestly, I think this ribbon or this mesh is prettier. The Michael's mesh is nice, but I like this one better because it has that nice metallic look to it. That's mainly what we're going to use. But we're also going to do like we did last year and do a couple of extra little bundles in the wreath. We have one here with 3 colors. We're going to do one like this with the pink, and this is the closest I have to white. It has sort of an iridescence to it, and blue. This white mesh came from Michael's, I think. The pink and blue, well, the pink actually also came from Michael's. The blue one came from Dollar Tree. It's a really pretty light blue. So we're going to do one or two bundles like this. And we're going to do one also with black and brown here. So we have these from Michael's. This brown mesh even has gold in it. It has this gold metallic in it. So we're going to do a couple of bundles with that too. I also found this at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. This is a polyester, I think it's classified as a ribbon, but it's kind of like a mesh, but not exactly. It's made a little differently. It's like almost like tulle, Tulle. It's kind of like that, but it has all these beautiful little multicolored specks of big glitter in it. This is from One Together. I don't know if that is a Joann. It is a Joann Stores brand. LGBTQIA Pride. So that's for this. And we also have that on some of the decorative pieces. These are little pins that I found from One Together. And we have 2 hearts and love and pride. And I'm going to be attaching these to the wreath, but they could be removed and worn. I'm not going to glue them in or anything. I'm just going to use the little backs to snap them in so they can be taken out if somebody wants to wear one. So these were $7.99 for the 4 enamel pins. And they're really pretty. Okay. But I have other decorative items too, not just the pins. We have a ribbon Oh my gosh. Most of this ribbon came from Joann. Now this one actually came from Dollar Tree. This is some ribbon I bought there a while ago. It's like rainbow stars. It's really pretty. It's called Unicorn Ribbon. It was part of their Unicorn Ribbon collection. And I was up in the attic looking through I have 2 big totes of wreath stuff up there, and every time I go through it I realize I have way too much wreath stuff. I can make any kind of wreath with just the stuff up there. I have like every color of mesh. I have every color of ribbon. It's crazy. And I had a whole bag of this unicorn ribbon, different styles. I think originally, I was going to try to do something with it. Like a lot of my projects, I will get all the stuff to do a certain thing, and then I end up not doing it. I'll stick it up there and think, oh, I'll get to that in a little bit, and then I forget about it. It's like out of sight, out of mind. If it's up in the attic, I just forget about it. But I thought this ribbon would be really pretty for this wreath. It's just all the colors. Look at that. I love it. This is 3 yards of ribbon, so it's only like 9 feet. And that sounds like a lot, but in a wreath like this, 9 feet of ribbon doesn't go very far. This wreath is not going to be super ribbon heavy. I'm not going to do a ton of ribbon. Some wreaths I do a lot, some I don't do much. It just kind of depends on, to me, how it looks and how, just kind of how I feel, honestly. Now this ribbon came from Joann. It is also the One Together brand from Joann. And you see here we have the rainbow and we have the stripes in the back. This is 5/8 inch ribbon, I believe it is. And we also have 3 yards of that. The spool is just a little bit larger, but it's not more ribbon. And this one is really pretty, also from One Together. These are just like little rainbow satin hearts. So it's not really so much a ribbon, it's like just a chain of hearts, all different colors. That's so pretty. This is also 3 yards. And then I have a pride ribbon here. This one is a little bit wider. This is 7/8 inch ribbon. And this one is also 3 yards. These rolls like this are $2.99. These are also $2.99 for those, for the skinnier ones. And then I have 2 types of wide ribbon. These both came from Joann. You get quite a bit. You get 4 yards of this one for $5.99, and it does have a wire edge to it if you wanted to use it to make a bow. I'm not doing a bow in this wreath, but we do have a couple of options for the centerpiece. So we have this one, which is beautiful. Look, it's just so pretty. It's almost like tie-dye, the way the colors just kind of blend together. I like that. So there's that one. And I also have this one right here. And again, the colors just kind of bleed together. It's really interesting. This one, it was funny when they rang it up. It rang up as perishable goods. And it said it was expired, do not sell. Like, it's ribbon. For some reason, they had to ring it. They just ended up ringing this one up twice because they were the same price. But yeah, this one was listed as expired, do not sell. These are $5.99, and this one is also 4 yards right here. This was, I think they had a couple of other wide ribbons, but I ended up picking these 2 because at the time I was thinking I don't want it to be super ribbon heavy because there's a lot on here. So I decided just to get these 2 and then the 3 skinnier ribbons. So we're gonna have a total of 6 types of ribbon in this wreath. It's very easy to end up with lots and lots of ribbon because there's so many choices. Like, you want to do one of all of them, but sometimes you have to just, like, pick a couple. Don't get them all, although sometimes I want to. Okay, and we have decorative items. I wanted to do, when I was thinking about what to decorate it with, I wanted to do like different colored flowers. I wanted to put a bunch of different colored flowers in there, and I really had a hard time finding like Like I've seen at Michael's before, you could get it's like a bunch of artificial flowers, and they're all different colors. They're like rainbow colors, but I wasn't able to find any this year. I looked at Michael's and Joann. I think that's as far as I got. But I found these on Amazon. Now these are little artificial roses, and I don't remember how much they were. I think they might have been about $8. This is the first time I've opened them. I haven't really looked at them. They're little tiny roses, but they're all different colors. You have pink, purple, blue, black, gold, silver. You just have a bunch of different colors in here. Green. So, and there's oh, that's silver. There's a little silver one in there. So you have all these different colors. So I'm going to be hot gluing all of these little flowers in there too. I'm probably not going to do all of them because there are a lot in here. I forget how many there are supposed to be, but it's a lot. I probably won't do all, but I want to try to do one of each color at least. Yellow, white, just all these cool colors. Orange. We have a couple of different shades of purple. We have dark blue, light blue, red, just all these colors. I thought this was super neat. So this is what I ended up going with. I wanted to put some colorful flowers in there. So I thought this would be a good option. And here is the frame, of course. This is typically what we use for these videos, a 14-inch wreath frame. These are from Dollar Tree. It's just called a little wreath ring. And at least the Dollar Trees here lately have had a nice variety of different types of wreath forms. You know, in the past, mainly all they had were just these, you know, the round 14-inch, or you could get two of the smaller ones, like 8-inch frames. But they have a bunch of different shapes and types of wreath forms now, so you could do all kinds of things. But with this one, we're just going to go with the 14-inch wreath form. And it may not look like it's going to be very big, but we're using the Starburst Technique for this wreath, which is my favorite. And when you do bundles with the Starburst Technique, they come out about this far out. So it's going to look much larger, and it's going to be very full in the front. The Starburst Technique gives you bundles that you attach that are just so full, and with this really nice mesh, with this nice firm, good quality mesh, they really stand out. I mean, it's amazing. It's going to look much larger than this when we've finished it. So that's our wreath form. And I was thinking about the pipe cleaners, these chenille stems, whatever you want to call them, that we use to hold our bundles together. Now, normally when I do these wreaths, I will have a color scheme. I will try to pick a color of pipe cleaner that kind of matches what we're doing. Like they might be all green or all white, or just something to kind of match the wreath itself. But for this wreath, we're going to use all the colors. And I didn't even have to buy anything in advance. Let me show you. This isn't even all of my pipe cleaners. I overbuy everything because I'm extra. I buy too much. I brought down my collection of pipe cleaners. I have to show you. This isn't even all of them. I left the packs up there that were solid colors. I have a bunch of packs that are just all one color, like purple or green or whatever. I have all the colors. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be using a little bit of all of these colors. So even the back of this wreath is going to be super colorful. It is going to be so colorful. We're going to use all the colors. I even have gray pipe cleaners. I have all of them. I'm excited. I never get to do this. So we're going to be using a little bit of all of these colors for these bundles. And it's going to make the back of the wreath look really cool, I think. Okay, for the centerpiece, And I haven't looked at these yet either. These just came. I just ordered these from Amazon, and they just came in the mail, and I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. In this plastic bag like this. I had trouble. I looked around in stores and online trying to find something that I thought would look good in the middle of this wreath, and I couldn't really find anything that stood out to me that I really liked. But I found these on Amazon, and it was a pack of 2. These are little wooden signs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one in there now, but it can be swapped out. Like I might not even glue it in. I might just set it in there. Just kind of not glue it, but that way you can change it out if you want to. Here's the first one. You see it has the rainbow design on the back, and it says everyone is welcome here. And this, it's like, I'm not sure what kind of wood it is. It's lightweight. It's not super heavy. We have the little heart there. And up at the top, you have these 2 holes, and it comes with pieces of ribbon. So you can thread it through there if you want to hang this up. You can turn it into a little wall hanging. So this is the first one. And the second one is wrapped in cellophane for some reason. There we go. Oh, I like that. This one says love is love. I think I'm going to put this one in the wreath. I think I'm going to sit this one in there. I like it. This one also has holes up here if you want to hang it up. And you can see the back has been painted yellow. It's very lightweight. It's like balsa wood or something. It's pretty light. So we have love is love. There, it looks better out of the plastic. And everyone is welcome here. So they're made of the same material. I think I'm going to stick this one in there. Because I think size-wise, I think this one will sit in there a little bit better than this one. Yeah, so you can hang these up. And they sent a few pieces of ribbon to go along with that. Okay, very nice. So again, I found these on Amazon, and I found the little flowers on Amazon too. And I'll put a link in the description to both items, because if you're like me, sometimes when you go to search for things on Amazon, it just doesn't come up. So I will put a link in Amazon to these items if you're interested. So hopefully it will make it a little easier to find them. So, all right, now the next step is to go ahead and start making our bundles. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I have everything ready here. I have 2 of each of my pipe cleaners. Look. Oh, look at all these colors. Gosh. So I have 2 of each color. I didn't count them. I don't even know how many it is. Now, when you're making bundles for a wreath like this, you want to take your pipe cleaners and cut them in half. You only need half of each one of these to do a bundle. So I just have my little clippers here. It doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of cut it somewhere in the middle, like that. And they don't have to be exact. It doesn't matter. Then you just cut them in half. And for a wreath like this, usually I end up with about 50. Well, it varies. It depends on the thickness of the mesh. You can have anywhere from 50 to, gosh, I've had as many as 60 bundles if I had really thin mesh. And it depends on how many pieces of mesh you put in each bundle. But we're just going to start out with these pieces right here. And I'm going to show you how to make a few of these bundles. But before we do, I want to show you what I did to my ribbon. And for the ribbon cutting, I use these scissors. I have these little spring Fiskars scissors. These are great. You have to watch it though, because the end is very, very sharp. You want to be careful not to poke anybody with it. It's extremely sharp. And then I have just like a regular pair of scissors as well. Now, with my ribbon, both the wide ribbon and the skinnier ribbon, you see we have this special finishing here. This is called dovetailing, and it's really easy to do. I find that for a skinnier ribbon like this, these scissors work great. And I'll show you how to do it. So you have your sections here, and each section of ribbon is approximately 9 inches long. I don't measure it or anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so you have your ribbon, and when you cut it, you're just going to have that straight edge. To dovetail it, all you do is fold it lengthwise like that, and you're just going to cut off that little corner. So here's where it's folded. You just cut the corner, and you're going to end up with a bunch of little pieces like the one that just went off my table completely. I'll show you again. You just take it and just cut that little piece off, and so yeah, you end up with a bunch of pieces like that. It's good when you're making a wreath to keep a trash can handy, because you'll have a lot of little scraps and things. And personally, I like to clean up as I go, so I don't have a bunch of stuff to clean up at the end. And in my cooking videos, I do the same. I clean up and wash up as I go, so I don't have a giant mess when I'm done. So let's see. For the wider ribbon, these scissors work better, I think. And it's the same procedure with the wide ribbon like that. I'll show you again on one of these skinny pieces. And sometimes when you cut your ribbon, you end up with these little pieces, but you don't have to worry about that. You just fold it lengthwise again, and you're just cutting off that corner. Just like that. And see, you get this pretty little edge on it. And I really think it's worth taking the time to do this, so that in the wreath, I think it just looks a little bit extra fancy, looks a little bit extra nice to have the ends of your ribbon look like that, because in the bundles they're going to be kind of sticking out. The ends are going to be sticking out, so they're going to be quite visible. So if you have a wide piece, and this ribbon is wired, it doesn't have to be wired ribbon for these wreaths, but usually when you get ribbon this size, it is wired. You do the same thing. You just fold it lengthwise, and I am able to just use regular scissors to cut through the wire. It's not a thick wire. This is a pair of Singer scissors, but they're not expensive or fancy or anything. Look at that. So you end up with a lot of pieces left over from the cutting. And again, you take your piece of ribbon, and here's where it was cut. You fold it in half lengthwise, and you don't have to press it or crease it or anything. And again, here's where it's folded. You just cut right through, and look at that. I think it just makes it look extra nice in the wreath. I have one last piece. Look at it when it's rolled out. Isn't it cool? It's really cool. Okay. Folded lengthwise. Cut. See? Very simple. It takes a little bit longer than just cutting the ribbon, but I definitely think it's worth taking the time to do it. There. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. I always close these up. Now I'm going to show you how to make bundles. I'm going to move these ribbons out of the way. Okay. So we have a few pipe cleaners here cut in half, like that. And now for the mesh. So we'll do one of these bundles. I think for the specialty bundles, This is a thicker mesh. Well, this is some of the older mesh from Dollar Tree, and I swear this is some that I bought several years ago, and the mesh was much better quality then than what you get there now. The mesh there now is thin and kind of mushy, and it's not as nice as this right here. They don't really make it like that anymore. It's kind of disappointing. I think I'm gonna try to do, see, normally I will use 3 or 4 pieces of mesh per bundle. These I want to do a little bit differently. I'm gonna try with no ribbon. I'm not gonna add ribbon to these bundles. I think I'm gonna try 6 pieces. So we'll have 2 of the pink, 2 of this white mesh, and 2 of the blue. We'll see how that goes. It may be too much, I don't know. But to do the Starburst technique, it's easy. The more you do it, the faster you get at it. At this point, I could probably do it in my sleep. You're going to take your first piece of mesh, and these mesh pieces are also approximately 9 inches long. Again, I didn't measure. One thing you can do, I don't do this, but I've seen other people do it. They'll take a piece of cardboard or a piece of like thin light board wood or of some sort that's 9 inches long, and maybe sand down the edges or cover it in duct tape or something. And that way you can take the roll of mesh and just wrap it around that board and then just cut the sides so all the pieces are the same length. You can do that. I just kind of freehand it. I just roll it out and cut it. I don't bother with that. But you can. It might make it a little faster. Okay. Starburst technique. You're going to take your mesh here. You don't want to handle it any more than you have to, because the more you handle it, the more it's going to fray where it's cut. Although with this better quality mesh here, like I said, I think this mesh came from Michael's. It's just better quality. But even with better quality mesh, the more you handle it, the more it's going to kind of fray where it's cut. So you don't want to handle it any more than you have to. Take your mesh, grab it in on opposite corners like this, and you pull just a little bit. You don't have to pull it hard. You want to just pull a little bit. Hold that tension. I'm going to hang on to it. Walk your finger in. Hold it down. And then just kind of roll it in on itself. You have to hold on to it, because if you let it go, it's going to boing back the way it was. So you have this like a little bow tie, and the ends are kind of sticking out like that. It's like a little piece of bow tie pasta or something. Now you have to hang on to it, because if you let it go, it's not going to stay like that. But you can use a chip clip or a paper clip or a clothespin or whatever to hold it. I just hold it between my fingers like that. And again, the more you practice at it, the better you get. Typically, I don't wear rings when I do this, because the mesh can get caught on your ring, and it's just a pain. So I don't wear rings when I do this. Okay. And you take your next piece, do the same thing, making sure to hold on to this piece. Walk your fingers in. You're just kind of folding it up on itself. Now I've got 2 of them. And you just keep going just like that. Roll, 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 roll. 3. Okay, now that's usually how much I have in a bundle right there. I'm going to try for 6, so I can have 2 of each color in here. I don't know how that's going to go. 1. 2. And you're going to get little bits everywhere. That's why, again, it's why it's good to have a trash can around. And here's 3 or 6 total. Okay. Now that is a big bundle. That's a big bundle, but I think it's going to work. Yeah, like I was saying, when I do my cooking videos, whenever I have to take a little break or something's in the oven or whatever, I will stop and wash dishes, clean up, put things away, so I don't have it all to do at the end. I just think it makes the whole process more efficient to kind of tidy up as you go. That's just, that way you don't have a big mess when you're done. Because it can be kind of overwhelming. You're proud of your accomplishment, but then you look and you have this big mess to clean up. Just clean up as you go. Okay. So you have, this is going to be your bundle right here, and the others are not going to be this big. I might put 4 pieces of mesh in each bundle because we're also adding ribbon to the other bundles. We're not going to add ribbon to this one. All right, so you're holding it together. You want to take a pipe cleaner, just whatever, take a pipe cleaner, half of a pipe cleaner. You're going to put it across the top, still holding on to everything. Put it across the top perpendicularly like that. And this is the tricky part, but trust me, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So you put it across. You're going to take the ends, fold them under like this, making sure to hold on to everything. You want to kind of even it up where you have the ends about the same. Now you're going to fold everything in half, and you can grab it like this. You're not going to hurt it. I kind of pinch it together, and then you take your pipe cleaner ends to the underside, and you want to twist them together at least 3 times. Now you can let it go. Okay, there we go. That actually worked out pretty well. I wasn't sure if it would hold it, but it does. It totally does. Look at that. That looks good. So that's our first bundle. And I'm going to try to use just a totally different color pipe cleaner every time. And I have more. All right, so there's our first bundle. Let's do another one. This one we're also going to do 6 pieces. Now this is the Dollar Tree mesh. So it's a little bit thinner. You can see it's a little bit more pliable. This mesh is also Dollar Tree mesh. I think this was part of their Halloween mesh collection. So it's a little bit less firm. It's a little bit thinner. So I think this one will actually work better. We're going to do brown and black together. We have 2 of each. There's brown and black mesh there. Okay. We're going to do these as 6 pieces together. Same procedure. You find the ends of your mesh. It's kind of hard to see with a black background, but you want to pull it. Sometimes the ends kind of stick together. You just want to delicately pull them apart. Fold it together. See? You have a little bow tie. And you just keep doing that. It's the same technique. Fold it, roll it, hold it. Just like that. I have made lots and lots of wreaths, so I can go faster than if, when I just started, I couldn't go very fast. I can definitely make them faster now. I like to learn new things, and I thought this was a cool technique. I keep coming back to the Starburst technique. It's still my favorite. I just think it makes a pretty wreath. And you can customize it. You can do it any way you want. You can use different colors of mesh. You can use different decorations. It's just a lot of fun to me. All right, there we go. And I just alternated through here. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a pipe cleaner here. And I'm going to put it perpendicular here. I tried to pick a lighter color so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So, fold it under, grab your mesh, fold it in half, and you're not going to hurt it at all. You can just grab it like that. You're basically just compressing it with your hand, and then give it at least 3 twists, and then you can let it go. Now at this stage, if you want to kind of take the pieces of mesh and ribbon, if you have ribbon in there, and kind of fluff them out, fluff them back out, or you can wait until it's attached to the wreath form and fluff it out then. Sometimes I do it at this point. Sometimes I leave it kind of compressed until I get it on the wreath form, and then I kind of fluff it out. It doesn't matter. You can do it either way. This one turned out really pretty too. I like it. Look at that. So we have our alternating black and brown there. Now when you put it on the wreath form, it's going to be more, as you add your bundles, it's going to get kind of pushed up like that because you're going to have all the other bundles right next to it, so it's going to kind of compress it a little bit. But you can still kind of fan it out and, you know, kind of fluff it up a little bit once you have it on the wreath form to make it look full and pretty. All right. So there's that bundle, and you get a bunch of stuff everywhere. Okay. Now we're going to get into the rainbow mesh. Look at it. Look, it's so shiny. Oh my gosh. It's really pretty. I think we will do 4 pieces per bundle. And I did cut up the tulle. This is interesting. I've never used this kind before. It almost looks like spiderweb material. It's really neat. And the good thing is with this, when I unrolled it, I didn't get a bunch of these pieces of glitter everywhere. I did get a little bit, but most of it stayed attached to this. It's not mesh. I don't know what you call it. But it also has glitter in it. Not just the big pieces, but it has small pieces too. So it's really cool. Look at that. Okay. We'll use a piece of that in here too. And I have 2 more pieces of this. So we'll do all 4 of these in one bundle. Okay. So again, these pieces are approximately 9 inches. Some of them are a little shorter because I wasn't really paying attention. I think I cut these a little too short, but it really doesn't matter. So you take the opposite corners, pull it a little bit, hold that tension in there. See, I'm still holding it like this. You do it whatever way works for you. Pull it together. If you had a lot of practice rolling things, you might find this to be second nature to you. Pull it, pull it. There. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's go ahead and do this one. Now this stuff is not super stretchy, so you don't really have to pull on it. You just want to kind of put it together and roll it up. Ooh. Okay, now the glitter's coming off. So I guess this one I'm going to have to handle delicately because it just put a bunch of glitter everywhere. But that's totally fine. Okay. And the last piece. There. I'm going to take a piece of wide ribbon, put it over the top, and I'm still holding on to everything. And a skinny piece. Take your pipe cleaner, put it across perpendicularly like that. Fold it under. Grab it. Pinch it together. 1, 2, 3. Then let go. There we go. Now you can do as much ribbon or as little as you like. If you like a lot of ribbon, you can do a lot. If you don't like it, you can leave it totally out. You don't have to use it at all. I love ribbon. I really do. Usually I use quite a bit. Sometimes I don't, but usually I like to put a lot in there. Okay. And I just alternate the ribbon combinations on each bundle so it's not all the same. But yeah, that's what your bundle is going to look like. That is going to be most of the bundles in the wreath, basically like that. Let's do one more. Okay, I've got 3 pieces. I have a lot of this rainbow mesh. And another piece of this glitter tool. Let me give you a tip first while I'm thinking about it. So this is your wreath form. And of course you can use any kind of wreath form you like, but this is the one I use the most. The 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree. And you see that it has these pieces here that are attached to it to hold it together. You have 6 sections, little segments in here. If I have a material that I don't have much of, like this right here, I only have like 12 pieces of this. what I will do as I make my bundles, I will make sure to distribute them along here so you don't end up with just clumps. Unless that's what you want. I mean, if you want it all in one area, that's cool, but I will take those bundles and just spread them out. So say I have 12 pieces of this, and I put each piece in one bundle. I will just do 2 bundles per section because I have 6, and that will kind of spread it out evenly over the wreath. When I first started making wreaths, I didn't really think about it, and if I had something that I just had a little bit of, I would just start in one section and just add them, and then I would realize, oh, it's all right here. I didn't really want that, so I had to pull them out and kind of spread them out. But if you spread them out from the beginning, you don't have to do that. I just add my bundles evenly across the wreath form as I go, instead of doing this section and this section. That way it kind of spreads everything out a little bit better. Okay, now we can do this bundle. 4 pieces of material. So again, you're going to have a lot of mess. I always have to vacuum after I finish a wreath. No matter what kind, you just end up with lots of stuff that you have to vacuum up, but that's okay. So again, you take these opposite corners, pull it a little bit, hold that tension, roll it up in the middle, hold it like that. Go ahead and do this one. I'm going to try not to handle it too terribly much. Wow. Okay. Lots of glitter. That is totally fine. It's funny, it seems like every time I make a wreath, even if there's no glitter in it, when I get done, I find glitter everywhere. Like, where did this glitter come from? There's no glitter in that wreath, but I find glitter everywhere. It's weird. Okay. There. Now, again, I like to put the wide piece down first. That. Oh, let's do the hearts. I want to show you the heart ribbon. Look how pretty this is. Now, I did not dovetail this ribbon. When I have a ribbon like this that doesn't have, you know, like a finished, like this kind of edge to it, I don't bother dovetailing it because you really can't, because, you know, it's just this little hearts. I don't bother dovetailing this kind of ribbon because there's really not a point to doing it. So, you want to take your pipe cleaner, lay it across perpendicularly like that. Bend it down, the 2 ends, bend it down. Fold it in half. I kind of pinch it together right here to get it a little tighter. 1, 2, 3, and then you can let it go. Like that. Okay. And this ribbon is just going to go every which way. But again, when you have it in your wreath, it's going to kind of push it up a little bit, so it won't be quite as able to flop around. But yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to show you how to attach it to the wreath form. Okay, so again we have our wreath form, 14-inch wreath form. Now these wreath forms have a front, side, and a back. The front is kind of convex. It's like this. So that's going to be the front of the wreath. It's really hard to tell just looking at it like this, but the back is concave, like this. And we have 4 wires in here, so you have 4 of these. We are really only going to be working with the 2 middle ones. This one and this one. We're going to be attaching all of our bundles to the 2 middle ones. We're not attaching anything to this one or that one. And that's the way I do all of them. I'm going to show you how to attach them from the back side. So right now we are looking at the back of the wreath form. This is the part that we're going to be looking at. So you have your bundle here. And again, since I only have about 12 pieces of this, I'm going to attach 2 of these bundles on each section. So you have these 2 ends here on your pipe cleaner piece. that's what we're going to use to attach it to the wreath form. You don't need any hot glue or anything for this part of the wreath. Now when I attach the decorations, I do use hot glue, but not for attaching the bundles. Okay, so we're going to take, so again, this is the back, this is the front of the wreath. We're going to put it here. You take these two ends of the pipe cleaner and you just have them kind of straddle these two pieces. You take them and you just twist them together like that. And then so you have the two ends of the pipe cleaner sticking out. I take them and just fold them under so they're not poking out. That way you have a nice smooth surface back here. And it's going to move around a little bit and be kind of floppy at this point, but don't worry about that, because once you start adding more and more bundles, it won't do that anymore. It tightens up. So there's one. Now let's attach this one. I'm just going to put it over here. Well, this one we can put in the same section. So again, this is the back side of the wreath. You take the two ends here. You twist them together, you know, just 2 or 3 times, 4 times. I basically twist them together as many times as I can, just to make sure it's on there and secure. It's not going to fall off. So you take the two ends and you sort of push them under like that. There. Oh, this wreath is going to be so colorful. I love it. Okay, so there. That's those two. We'll add another one. Okay, we have another one here. Same thing. We're still looking at the back side of the wreath. So as you see, as you come through, you're going to see the ends of the pipe cleaners back here. Plus, I think tucking in the ends, it makes it have a neater appearance in the back, which some people may not care about, but I do. I like for it to look neat. You take the two ends of the pipe cleaner and you straddle those two wires, and then you twist them together and tuck the ends down like that. Okay. Just like that. And you can slide these around if you want to at this stage. And of course, if you place all of your bundles and then you look at it later and decide you don't like the placement, it's very easy to undo these and move them around any way you want to. That's another thing I like about doing it this way, is that you're not committed to it. It's not like they're glued on here and it's harder to remove them. It's very easy to undo them and remove them and move them around any way you want to. So we have our fourth bundle. And again, we're going to put it under here. Take the two ends of the pipe cleaner, straddle these two wires, bring the ends together and twist them together. Just like that. And then you tuck the ends under there. Alright, now here's what we have so far. Right here. And it may not look like much. You may look at it and think that looks kind of sparse. Well, just you wait. I'm going to keep making bundles and adding them. I'm not going to add the decorations right away. I'm going to show you what you can do with a little bit of material and a little bit of time. I'm going to keep making bundles and adding them. And then I'll show you what it looks like once it's all filled in. I have now finished creating and adding all of the bundles to the wreath. I haven't decorated it yet. Let me show you what we have. Oh, look at that. It is so sparkly. It is so colorful. My gosh. I didn't use all of the ribbon. Sometimes you'll get into a wreath and you will just feel like not putting as much, or you might decide to add more. There's still quite a lot of ribbon in here. And you can see we have the brown and black here, the blue, pink, and white here, and 2 sections there. And the rest is primarily the rainbow ribbon, or the rainbow mesh, and with that white, the white spider web looking stuff too. So yes, here we have it, and look at the back. Even the back is cool. Look at all that. So as you can see, we have the 14-inch wreath form, but the actual wreath itself is quite a bit larger than that. So it's really big, but it's actually super lightweight. So now I'm going to add the decorative pieces. We have our flowers and our sign. I'm going to go ahead and add that, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. Okay, I have added the little flowers and the pins and the sign to the wreath. And again, I didn't hot glue the sign in there. It's just kind of nestled in there. But look. Oh, I think it looks really good in there, and it fits in there perfectly. Like, the shape is kind of perfect for this kind of wreath. I find that if square or rectangular things are a little bit harder to position, not impossible, but I find that this shape works really well. But yeah, so we have our little pins. Here's one here, and I just attached them with the little fastener on the back so they can be removed and worn or moved around or however you want to do it. And I glued in the little flowers of all different colors. Most of them I kind of nestled down in where the bundles kind of make that little V shape in there. I just kind of put them down in there. They seem to glue in there a little bit better. There's another pin up there. Yeah, so look at that. We have little flowers all the way around, just kind of glued in here and there. We have a silver one and light green. There's sort of an orange one and purple and just blue and yellow and just all the colors. Look at that. Wow. So there we have it. Look at that. I think it turned out really nice. Last year for the centerpiece, we had a rainbow fan in the middle of it, like one of those fold-out little fans. Put that in the middle. I really like this. This is nice. And then it also, the purchase from Amazon also included this sign too. So we have both of those together. I am dedicating this video to someone that I hope is watching. They're supposed to be. I had a dear friend all through high school. We met in 9th grade. And they are LGBTQ, but I didn't know. They had to keep that part of themselves secret because just the environment and some other things going on in this person's life. And after we graduated high school, we both moved away from the small town we lived in, and they went to a much larger city and were able to be more, they were more comfortable. They could be more relaxed and come out in their own time and way. And I talked to this person years later and said, why didn't you tell me? I had no idea. And they said, think about it. Do you honestly think I could have done that back then, given the environment? And I never really thought about it. But they are very happy now, and I hope that they are watching, and I hope they like my wreath. But the same for you as for my friend. I love you no matter where you are. There are people out there today that for many reasons cannot come out and be themselves, and they have to live in fear, and I hate that. But I want you to know from me that I love you and I accept you for whoever you are. I really do. And I hope that one day, if you cannot do it now, maybe one day, like my friend, you can get to a point or a place where you can, and I really hope that you can do that one day. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see this beautiful wreath today. I really enjoyed it. I think I like this one even better than the one last year. I love the centerpiece. It's just really cool. Yes, and you can see too how thick it is. Like it's really got some depth to it. It's really something. I like it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that wherever you are, that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.